Welcome to the Dr. Grant Show. Looks like we are in for a fantastic 4th of July weekend as of the time that we are filming this episode. Today's episode is an EFT tapping sound bath for binge eating and emotional eating. Now, in this episode of the Dr. Grant Show, we're going to be doing a Divine EFT tapping sound bath specifically for binge eating and emotional eating. It is my favorite kind of sound bath to do. Now, so many people I talk to are struggling with binge eating and emotional eating, and they just don't know how to get help. And that's why I'm here with my show, to offer you different solutions that you can use in your own life to start the healing. Now, in this episode, we're going to do a sound bath specifically for binge eating and emotional eating. This will be a really relaxing experience for you that will help open up the channels so that you can start releasing all of the pain and any trauma that's been stored in your body. Because scientific research studies have shown that often it's not a big trauma that happened. It's very often something small where you didn't feel like you got what you needed. Now, in this episode of the Dr. Grant Show, we're going to be discussing the topic of binge eating and emotional eating. Now, binge eating, it is a problem that so many people really struggle with, especially in my digital wellness practice, where we specialize in working with people that struggle with binge eating, food addiction, emotional eating, and looking to lose weight. And it can be just so difficult for them to overcome it on their own. And that's why in today's episode, we're going to be doing a Divine EFT tapping sound bath that is specifically designed to help you overcome binge eating and emotional eating. A sound bath, it is a great way to relax and de-stress, and it can help you connect with your inner self. Now, during the sound bath, we'll be using various sounds and instruments to create an immersive experience that will help you let go of your negative thoughts and emotions. So, if you're ready to start overcoming your binge eating and emotional eating, then stay tuned. So I'm going to get up and check the comments because I never want to leave anybody out. This is an immersive and interactive show. So if you guys are struggling with anything, then let me know. All right. Dakari, so glad that you joined us. He says, all right, doctor, outstanding. All right, guys. So don't be afraid to throw anything in the chat that, let me make a tweak, make sure the camera angle is good so you guys can see me. Hold on, since this is live. All right, so it looks like you guys can see me and we're streaming A-okay. All right. All right, now the sound baths I normally conduct for my clients, they are usually much longer in length. However, for the sake of this show, I want to introduce you to our Divine EFT tapping sound baths. And these can be utilized for a multitude of areas and reasons, and that's the reason why I like it. It's about more than hearing some pretty notes played. What this is about is connecting with people that are struggling in some area of their life. And that struggle, it's a blind spot. On the surface, you may know exactly why you may binge eat or why you may hold on to a behavior that you know is unhealthy, yet you keep finding yourself doing it anyway. Often, when I speak with people in my digital wellness practice, we uncover so many things. I've uncovered things ranging from the reason why they're binge eating and overeating and having a hard time losing weight is because of something that a well-intentioned family member said that stuck with them and to a degree traumatized them. The little t trauma, not the big T trauma. The point is, you weren't able to get what you needed at the time that you needed it. And it's not anyone's fault. It's just sometimes some of us are so wrapped up in our own worlds, especially as adults. And when you were a child, you were wrapped up in so much that you were trying to get food on the table. You were trying to make sure that your business, if you have one, your entrepreneur is running right. You're trying to juggle the responsibilities of family. You're trying to juggle the responsibilities of trying to hold yourself together. And sometimes things get missed. Sometimes they're little, sometimes they're big. In my wellness practice, I have heard so many stories from both women and men where they've adopted other habits as coping mechanisms. And that's all emotional eating, binge eating, and food addiction is. It is merely a coping mechanism. And for those of you that are struggling with trying to get healthier and lose weight, the only difference here is your coping mechanism just happens to be visible and on the outside. You're not alone, and there should be no shame and there should be no guilt whatsoever for what you've chosen as your coping mechanism. The binge eating and the overeating, it's merely a symptom of something deeper. And that's what we like to do at Phoenix 6. We like to take that deep dive. I like to spend time with the people that I talk to. There have been occasions that I've been on a Zoom call with someone for 2 hours because we are digging. I'm creating that cocoon, that environment for the person where they can feel safe. When was the last time you felt safe, where you felt hope, where you really felt like this person's completely invested in the solution to my problem? It is my greatest joy when we finally, after digging, identify what the root of the problem is, and we find out what your neural acoustic code is, and we take that root, we examine it, and we prune that neural energetic connection. So you take the memory and you take the lessons, but you don't take the triggering emotion that causes you to slingshot back into the past, which triggers you to indulge in that unhealthy behavior. Hopefully, this is a picture that I'm painting in your mind and you can see how wonderful that would be because you're changing from the inside out. You're not being pushed with calorie counts and you're not being pushed with someone bugging you about willpower. You're not being pushed with the workout that you should have done that day. All that naturally comes organically once we figure out what the root of the problem is. And snip, that energetic, psychological, neurological connection that you have to it. So, a quick introduction to EFT tapping for those of you that are unfamiliar, and feel free to leave a message in the chat and even send me a direct message if you have questions that might be a wee bit sensitive in nature, or if you'd like to explore working together. Okay, so for those of you that are unfamiliar with EFT tapping stands for Emotional Freedom Technique. And the reason why it works is that it's utilizing through acupressure, it is utilizing and accessing meridian points along the body. The body is filled with meridian points. These are points that rest underneath the skin that if they are pressed, they are connected to certain parts of the body. Okay, so EFT tapping, instead of tapping on and touching your thousands of meridians that you have, both major and minor, EFT tapping works on just the top few. Those are your major meridians of your body. And it's been proven by science to be very effective. It's so powerful and so effective that it was actually used in the Sandy Hook middle school murders that happened years ago to help those people that dealt with that trauma and experienced that trauma. These crystal singing bowls here, these help in facilitating and providing you a delightful sound bath. A sound bath uses specific sounds, specific frequencies that are played and emitted by these bowls. And the result is moving and shifting your brain through brain entrainment. And it shifts your brain into a lower, slower, more receptive, calmer brainwave pattern. For example, as you and I are here together now, your brain, when you're conversing, for example, is in beta wave mode. When you are deeply in concentration, your brain moves into alpha. When you are drifting off to sleep and just when you are beginning to wake up, your brain moves into theta. So this sound bath helps your brain move faster from beta to alpha to theta. And theta waves are where the subconscious mind lives. When you're able to access your theta waves subliminally, you're able to help your subconscious mind, which is running the show anytime you embrace behavior that you didn't plan on embracing, even though your conscious mind said we were going to start that diet tomorrow. And then your subconscious mind says, let's try next week. That's your subconscious mind at work. So, what happens when we combine the two? An explosion of unmeasurable magnitude and power, which turbocharges your ability to get to the healthier behavior and get to your goals so much faster. All right, so let's begin, shall we? You hold up 2 fingers here, you hold up this hand here, and you karate chop on what is called the karate chop point. You begin by setting the intention. The intention is whatever it is that you're struggling with right now that causes you to binge eat or emotionally eat. So think back to a time right now when you emotionally ate. Go back to that time, see what you saw, hear what you heard, feel what you felt, a specific time. Think about how you know when it's time and you feel that pull, that urge to give in to the urge to binge eat. You have it in your mind now. Now rank it on a scale of 1 to 10. 8 being this feeling is it's unwieldy, it's out of control. I don't feel like I can manage this on my own. 3 and below being I think I can manage this. I think I have a grapple on it now. Rank that intention and give it a number now. Now, begin tapping on the karate chop point. You'll repeat after me. Even though I gave in to my food cravings, it wasn't planned. I feel a little shame. I feel a little guilt. But I know this is not the end for me. I can find a solution to this. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Move to tapping on the top of the head. Breathe in, breathe out, and repeat after me. Even though I tried so hard to not eat that thing, but I ate anyway. I may be thinking about it right now. The way it tastes, the way it smells, and that's okay. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Move to tapping on the inner brow. You can tap with 2 fingers in one hand, or you can tap with both fingers in both hands, whichever one is most convenient for you. Repeat after me. Even though I have been struggling with this feeling, with food cravings, with food binges, with overeating, it feels like all my life I both deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. Move to tapping on the outer brow and repeat after me. Something's happening in my life that caused me to reach for the food I reached for. It caused me to binge. It caused me to emotionally eat. I both deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. When ready, move to tapping underneath the eye. Breathe in, breathe out, and repeat after me. Even though they tell me I should have enough willpower, they tell me it's so simple to stop eating when full, but this isn't working for me. I've tried, and I've tried it their way. I'm now aware I need to find my own way. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. When ready, move to tapping on the top of the lip. Breathe in, breathe out, and repeat after me. Even though in the past I tried it their way, I tried every diet, I tried every patch, I tried every pill, I tried every tip and trick. It worked for a little while, and then it stopped working. I wonder, will I be able to do this again? I wonder if I can trust myself believe myself when I say I want this. I'm going to try again. I'm open to seeing the solution and allowing the solution to unfold. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. When ready, begin tapping on the collarbone and repeat after me. Even though in the past I stopped eating those foods and my body began to look the way I wanted it to look, I started working out and I felt good. Then something happened. I was right back to square one. I realize now this was a lesson. I'm going to go back and think about what happened. I'm going to go back now and think about what caused me to break the promise with myself. And then dedicate myself to creating a solution that works for me in this time, in this place, in this space, in this chapter of my life. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Breathe in, breathe out. Last place to tap now. You raise your arm. Gentlemen, you're tapping 4 inches below the armpit. Ladies, you're tapping underneath your arm on your bra strap. And begin. Breathe in, breathe out. And repeat after me. I release the guilt. I release any shame. I release the pain of past memories. I release the pain of past attempts to lose weight, to stop food cravings, to stop food binges that ended the way I didn't want them to. I release the guilt. I release my mind from playing that memory over and over again. And I grant myself permission to experience life new. I grant myself permission to be open to change the way I need it to be, a change that nourishes me, a change that is sustainable for me and my life. I'm open to that being looking and feeling different compared to the way I've done it in the past. And I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. Going to go get a very special tool. You can place your hands at your sides now. Breathe in, breathe out. All the old thoughts, the old ideas, allow them to lift away. Allow them to dissolve. Allow any guilt to dissolve. Allow any shame to dissolve. In its wake, it's just you, fully capable, full of creativity, seeing new ideas, new solutions to your challenges, being open and free. Feel free to open your eyes. Now, ranking how you feel about that old time that happened in the past where you to food binges, food cravings, emotional eating, compared to when you started. You ranked it when we started on a scale of 1 to 10. 8 being this problem is overwhelming and impossible. 3 and below being, I feel calmer about this. I think I can see a solution. I think I can manage now. Rank your feeling now on a scale of 1 to 10. I imagine that you feel so much better, so much lighter, so much freer now. I imagine that you're seeing solutions beginning to bubble up now in your mind, and you're beginning to see perhaps a couple of things that you missed before when you tried to get healthier, when you tried it on your own. And that's the goal. You want to see the way you feel about this reduce at least 2 levels and below. Feel free, if you're not totally asleep or blissed out by now, to comment in the chat. You can comment now, or you can send me a message. My number is featured below. You can send a DM at 312-601-8510. And these sound baths, these Divine EFT Tapping sound baths, they're heavily utilized in my practice because it helps move out the resistance that you once had to the solution, to your binge eating, to your food cravings, to your emotional eating. And it's moved gently. It's moved sustainably. It's moved in a way that feels good. Don't get me wrong. You can use this for other things as well, but the secret sauce as to how and why this works. It's about more than what we have here. This is a superb way to get started. But what you also need, and one of the keys to this recipe, and why it's so successful, is that it's paired up with psychology. Knowing how to ask you the right questions so that we can uncover what the root of the problem is. Not the superficial level, but the real root of the problem. When you couple this up with psychology, NLP, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, this begins to pull back, gently prune back those layers, gently and easily, to help you understand why you keep finding your way back to the thing that you said that you wouldn't go back to anymore. And what I enjoy most about helping people in my digital wellness practice is we take that time. This is different than going to your doctor's office, and this can work in concert with your physician's care if you're under a physician's care. It's not meant to replace it. And that's the beautiful thing about this as well. But we like taking time with you, focusing exclusively on you, giving you the attention through a lens that's a scientific lens, but yet it is a lens of love and caring compassion, because I lost my mother to food addiction and obesity. And this is my life's work. This is my mission. It is to help people that have been struggling with stress eating and emotional eating and food addiction and obesity and weight loss. They've been struggling and they've been trying to put together all these solutions, and they maybe worked for a time, but then they stopped working, or maybe they worked, but it wasn't sustainable. It was not something you could see yourself doing for the rest of your life. I lost my mother, and it wasn't because she wasn't smart enough. She was a member of Mensa Society. I lost my mother because she didn't have a comprehensive, all integrative and functional approach to her problem. We use the sound baths to help access your brain and recode your brain in our method. But we also help you then with your fitness. And then the next phase in this method is to help you with your food, with live cooking classes and demonstrations. This is different than a pre-recorded class, because only 3% of people complete those digital courses anyway. So why leave money sitting on a shelf? We're right there with you, interacting, engaging, giving you customized, tailored solutions to your problems, talking to you, taking time with you. If this sounds like what you've been missing, or someone that you know, and this is a solution that they've been missing too, you're more than welcome to just reach out. You can send me a DM, or you can reach out and send me a message at the number that's listed below. I can be found on edibleaddiction.com. My name is Dr. Kirsten Grant. Much love to you. Bye, everyone.